What's up, you guys, and welcome to the official podcast of Damian Talks Education. So listen up. I am here to talk about all things education on my podcast. So get prepared for some realness and honesty of education as I walk you down through various of topics that's happening in the education world with some amazing guests, to sharing stories relating to education and so much more, because I got you covered with education. So join me on this journey of education with me.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Damian Talks Education. And happy Friday, you guys. Happy Friday. Yes. Finally Friday, you guys. So we could get started with our weekend. Yes. So, you guys, let's hop right into today's show, shall we, you guys? Now, before we do, you guys bear with me here. I'm on this episode right here. Probably my voice is going to go down a little, low. So you probably have to turn up your volume to hear me because my voice is quite like acting up. It's quite like, it feels like I'm quite like losing my voice. And it sounds like that too. So you guys just bear with me here. And I quite like feel like I'm probably getting sick too. So you guys just bear with me here. Okay, just bear with me here. So you guys, today's topic that I'll be discussing, you guys, is tips for promoting student voice in middle school. So let's get started with this here. And this will be a great, tips for me because once I become a teacher, I'm going to be teaching middle school, specifically 8th grade. That's what I want to teach so badly. And so this would be great for me, and then also with all you guys out there, my future educators out there. So listen up, get down, grab your paper, your notebook, whatever, so you could jot these tips down, you guys. Okay. Um, so encouraging students to use their voice to speak up for themselves and others has always been a part of a teacher's practice. Now, this year, 2021, however, it is even more important that students have the opportunity to speak up and be heard, given how isolated many are due to remote learning. Now, when you teach in a hybrid model, as this teacher currently does at the moment, it can be particularly tricky to make sure that the in-person and also the remote students feel equally comfortable speaking up. So after this teacher, they return to full in-person instruction. They will continue to implement many of these strategies and assessments that encourage students to use their voice. Now, first point I have for you guys is making space for student voice. Now, both remote and in-person students need space for their voices to be heard every day and to know that someone is listening. Yes, that is so very important because we need our students to be heard and that we know that we are listening to whatever problem, that they have, concerning, whatever, they want to talk to us about. So their perspective may be shared aloud, probably with the entire class, or probably, written, in a chat, if you're, using Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Google Meet, whatever, the, the remote learning that, that your school is using. And this can be, expressed in small groups. or it could be a part of a one-on-one discussion. And the important thing about this is that their voice are acknowledged, yes, no matter the context, okay? So I found out that this teacher found that her remote students are far less likely to voluntarily share than their in-person classmates. So these teachers take time each class to direct questions only to the remote students. But this reminds them that they are part of the classroom community, and it also gives them space to share. Now, when most students return to in-person learning, this will be even more essential for the few who remain remote. Now, again, with a teacher, they constantly seek informal feedback from students, both remote and in person, about the lessons, projects, and the organizations, as well as about how the class is going for them. And it also provides regular opportunities for the students to give formal feedback about the course through Google Form, surveys, and questions that these teachers pose inside their Google Classroom. Then it also shows them that they are listening to their input by making changes as needed. Yes, yes, yes. Now, in making these changes, this takes a moment to tell the students that the change was based on their suggestions. Then they see that their input it does matters, and they continue to share their ideas with one another. So in person, this teacher intentionally, she is intentionally about making, eye contact, with her students, and they might not be able to detect the entirety of, her facial expressions when, when they're all, wearing masks, you guys. But eye contact is extremely meaningful, okay? Now, with respect to the remote students, this teacher has always has her camera on and look at the computer screen when speaking to the students who are online. And her remote eighth graders are unlikely to turn on their cameras on, but they can still see her. So it's important that they see that they still have, her full attention. Now let's go down, you guys, to current events. How we should the students use their voice with current events happening around the world. So when she sees, when this teacher, you guys, sees real world examples of young people making a difference, she shared those with her students. Now, back in January, they watched, the Joe Biden's, presidential, inauguration, and they watched, you remember this person here, Amanda Gorman, inaugurational poem, and it made an exceptional point about how young she was and how powerful her voice was to the entire world. Amen to that, yes. And it also reminds the students that she is only around 8 years older than they are, and it also encouraged them to never hold back their ideas because they think that they are not old enough or important enough to make a difference. Wow, wow, wow. So she recently shared the trailer for the upcoming documentary series, Greta Norman, A Year to Change the World, which is, I believe it's out, yes, out now. And it discussed how she was significantly impacted with climate science from a young age by using her voice. So let's move on, you guys, to specialized units. So in a spotlight challenge unit, her students have an opportunity to discover a passion, solve real world problems, reflect on their strengths, and also, with their weaknesses, research ideas, and create a call to action to encourage their peers to join them in bringing about positive change to the world. Mhm. So this year, you guys, 2021, the students, they presented their speeches live in person when possible or over, Google Meet when they did this here. Next up is elevator pitch, which is another unit that provides students with opportunity to research facts and share their ideas about critical and current events around the world that are relevant to their lives in a safe environment. Now, in the hybrid model, students film their 1 to 2 minute pitches at home and share them with their peers through Google Meet. Yes, almost like you guys, almost. I think this is probably almost like similar with Shark Tank. I also love that show, you guys. Seriously, I was watching that earlier today. Catching up on the current season episodes. But besides the point, I think that's quite like similar to that, I believe. I think. But anyways, let's move on to social justice statements, which is also another unit that requires students to examine social justice through a historical and contemporary lens, and also synthesizing information, and it also creates their own social justice statements. Now, students' presentations are centered around their statements, such as the following. Social justice can be achieved through small victories. And speaking up is the first step required to obtain justice. Yes. Now, to adapt, for the hybrid learning, this year all materials they were posted digitally, and students created videos instead of, the live presentations. Now, not everyone that she implemented in her classroom will automatically make kids believe that their voice matters, or even that their voice matters to her. So she tells them over and over again, your voice matters, your voice matters, your voice matters. And she tells them that they have the power to make a difference. And she also tells them that they are powerful, that she believes in them, and that their ideas can make our world a better place, and that they inspire her every day. I love that. I really do. Um, so let's get down, you guys, to the final bullet points that I have for you guys, which is choice reading. Now, students need to see examples of kids, their own age, speaking up and making a difference. Now, throughout the year, students they are assigned independent reading. Now, for one free reading assignment, students complete the following steps to turn their inspiration into action. First, determine what compassion and understanding you have gained from reading your book. Second, decide how you can take that compassion and understanding and turn it into action. And finally, that was kind of a little puff right there. I don't know if you guys noticed, but anyways. And finally, the third is to write a paragraph explaining what you could do to show compassion and understanding based on what you have learned from your book. Then turn your words into action and carry out your ideas, and then share your actions with your peers for extra credit. Now, here are some YA and middle schoolers books that encourage students to think about how they can use their voices. And I have a list of books you guys here. You have Maybe He Just Likes You. This is by Barbara Dean. Dress Coded by Carrie Firestone. The Assignment by Liza Wimmer. Voting Booth by Brandy Colbert. From the Desk of Zoe Washington by Janet Marks. The Last Beer. Wow, The Last Bear. Excuse me, I said The Last Beer. The Last Bear by Hannah Go. A Good Kind of Trouble by Lisa Moore Rain. Anger is a Gift by Mark Osher. Ban This Book by Alan Greggs. Front Desk by Kelly Yang. And The Middler by Christy Applebaum. So you guys, that is this episode right here, you guys. Tips for promoting student voice in middle school. So I hope you guys, you took something away from this um, episode right here. I hope you guys did. So I'm going to end this here, you guys, because I feel all yucky and awful. So I'm going to try to enjoy a little bit of my weekend and also give me some rest as well. And thank you guys for watching this episode right here. I really do appreciate you guys here. And I will see you guys back next time on a new episode of Damian Talks Education. So until then, you guys, take care of yourself. Be blessed. Happy Friday. Enjoy your rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend, you guys.